This is Haley's song, it's only for the strong. She loved and she smiled, her heart stretched for miles. Was a daughter, sister, and a friend for so long. But now heaven's singing Haley's song.
One of the things we love to do is get everybody together who love Haley just as much as we do. And on her birthday or days like today on the anniversary of her death, that's what we do.
Got lives and live day by day. Sometimes we get the...
It's just our way of kind of connecting with her, sending the balloons up to her. That way she gets each of our special messages.
She lived to the fullest, love beyond her heart space. Had a smile that was huge on her face.
Kind of like a blessing that Haley came into all of our lives. And even through her passing, there's so many blessings that we see each and every single day.
This is Haley's song, it's only for the strong.
Haley loves you no matter what, and she would want this. She would want this more for everybody to be together, because that's what she wanted more than anything, is everybody to come together no matter what the reason was.
Now heaven's singing Haley's song.
Those who serve our country share a special, unexplainable bond. 85 veterans who share that bond met tonight ahead of the 8th honor flight. But for 6 of them, the bond is different.
Not only do we have one husband and wife veteran team, but we have 3. And they all have the greatest story.
For the first time, 3 sets of spouses will step aboard honor flight, sharing an indescribable experience. All 3 couples met in the service, and all 6 served during the Korean War.
It's so good to have someone to share this with you. It's just different than when you're going by yourself. You can't say, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, well, he's not here yet.
The Clems met in the Air Force and will soon celebrate 60 years of marriage. Their time in the Air Force plays a special role in their relationship.
Yeah, because you've been through an era that if your spouse hasn't been through it, they don't really identify.
The Hermans also served in the Air Force.
I just more or less kind of followed him around to all of his bases.
And have been married 62 years.
We do everything together.
And for the Gillinghams,
we've been married 62 years.
They never thought they'd step onto an honor flight plane together.
I said, well, let's both go.
And while much might have changed physically over the years, these couples say some things never do and can't wait to look at their monuments with the love of their life by their side.
I think I would like to see Arlington Cemetery.
It's been great because that way I don't have to say, oh, you should have been there, you should have been there.
Have a good time. We're really looking forward to it.
In Evansville, Christina Van Zelst, Eyewitness News. These 85 veterans are just days away from a journey of a lifetime.
I'm excited. I can't hardly wait to go.
But for 4 of them, the trip is going to be more than that. Chosen for an honor, hard to explain.
I can't explain it. It's such a big honor. I can't imagine. And I'm so excited that they chose me. I'm going to do my best.
These 4 veterans were chosen out of a hat to place a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at the Arlington National Cemetery.
I don't think the whole realization of it will hit them until they're actually there in Arlington at the tomb and see how beautiful of a setting it is.
And when these guys' names were drawn,
I kept thinking, that's not me. I don't know how they got my name, but he did.
I usually don't get my name called out, so that's going to really be an honor for me. I really appreciate it.
That is a big surprise. If I don't stumble or faint, everything will be okay.
It's going to be an honor, that's for sure. And it's a one-time thing.
all 4 of these veterans have been to Washington, D.C. before, but the reality of this trip is still sinking in.
There's so much history there, and like I said, I've been there several times before, but never in that capacity, so that should be a big thrill.
While all of these veterans have an unexplainable bond, these 4 drafted tonight will soon experience something none of these soldiers can put into words.
Surreal. It was just something you can't imagine. Well, just hearing the bugle tonight gave me tears. That's about the same situation.
In Evansville, Christina Van Zelst, Eyewitness News.
it has really totally changed the life of a small farmer. That would be me.
Hancock County, Kentucky farmer Paul Glover drives these hills every day. On one of these trips, he realized he needed to change his direction.
One, I found out that I could not make enough money to survive growing vegetables.
In 2014, Glover signed up for a pilot program in Kentucky to grow and produce industrial hemp.
These are my stock standards.
It was then he realized the potential
And could take 20 plants off this one.
in those little plants. Kentucky U.S. Senator and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell calls hemp a foundational part of the Commonwealth's heritage.
It was really big in the previous century. In those days, they turned it into rope.
As a matter of fact, at one time, the state of Kentucky was the leading producer of hemp in the United States.
In 2014, McConnell added a provision to the Farm Bill to let Kentucky farmers like Glover grow industrial hemp for research. That pilot program brought in more than $16 million for Kentucky farmers.
So now we're going to try to take the next step, which is to legalize hemp, have it regulated at the state level, and get American farmers into the business of producing a product that is all around us already, but imported from other countries.
That legislation would remove hemp from the DEA's list of controlled substances, opening the door for Glover's CBD oil business to grow even more.
Cannabis, they think of Colorado. Well, I got news. Kentucky's jumping up and becoming one of the top-rated states in the nation for production of industrial hemp.
Though Mile Marker 5 uses their industrial hemp to make CBD oil, they say this legislation could open up the doors for many other industries.
Now you can build houses, make car parts, use it with resin-based products, anything that has fibers that interlock to help strengthen it. The use is unlimited.
Early indications are that it could be really something. It's an incredibly diversified plant. It could end up in your food, it could end up in your car dashboard, it could end up in your medicine.
However, if legalized, the similarity to its illicit cousin, marijuana, will create obstacles.
It will present some problems for law enforcement.
Take a look at this. This is industrial hemp, and this is marijuana.
It's my understanding that the texture, again, and the smell are going to be just like regular marijuana.
The only way to tell the difference is to test the plant for levels of THC, a test that does not yet exist.
Our hope is, of course, that the people who manufacture these field tests can make adjustments to their field test kits where we can distinguish between quantitative, it's 0.3 or less.
In every county, there'll be a list of those who are legally growing it, and if local law enforcement people want to go out and make sure it's not the other plant, they'll know where it is.
For Farmer Glover, his daily trips up this hill seem worthwhile, as he believes he's on the cusp of something great.
Everything's blowing up in this industry. I'm just happier than pig and poo.
Any given day. Yeah. Any given day, there could be somebody that makes a poor decision, and then it's just how it goes.
They gather intel in the office and on the streets, racking up the stats, bringing in violent criminals and illegal guns.
You go after the bad guys. That's literally it. They turn you loose. They say, go after bad guys. And I don't get much better than that.
The Evansville Police Viper Unit is making its mark on the city, so we rode with some of the officers all afternoon, searching hot spots in high crime areas.
You don't do this job to make millions of dollars. You do it because it's a calling, and you truly do want to help citizens down here. And
the day started like any other, heading out the door not knowing what the night will bring. First stop, attempt to make an arrest on a felony warrant, but no one was there.
Every run that we go to has got that level of where you kind of sit back and think, how dangerous is this? What are we going into?
The unit of 11 hits the streets looking for suspicious activity, someone with a warrant, or any illegal behavior. We came across a driver who failed to use a turn signal. Turns out he didn't have a driver's license.
All right, Mr. Langley, do you have a driver's license?
I don't have one ID.
Just your ID card?
But officers also are spreading a message to the community, talking to kids and letting people know if you're a violent criminal, they're coming for you.
You can't arrest yourself out of criminals. It's never going to happen. So we just try to keep up with training and our police tactics and go home safe every night.